Salute, salute. What's going on? What's going on? What's Bobino? What's Bobino? What's Bobino? Solution, solution. What's going on, people? What's the word? You already know, man. Just had to pop through real quick. And, let's talk about what's going on with the Smitty Brim situation. Talk about the Smitty Brim situation. Smitty Brim situation. Wow. That is one situation, man. That's a fact. That's a bugged out situation. You know what I mean? That joint go back. It goes back. It definitely go back. I got well, no, I could say that. I got put in a lot of trick bags behind Smitty Brim, man. You know what I mean? And now, to come out that elope, that's wild. But, salute to him. We gonna get into it, man. Y'all already know, man. It's your boy 050BUCKS, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way in. Subscribe to the channel. Go to the notification bell and hit all. Go to the community wall and go get your shop on. You understand? In that order.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all already know what it is. See, it's a lot going down with your boy Smitty. Me and Smitty, we got some history, man. We've been rocking out. Y'all know we came from the movement, 050, that is. You understand? So, yeah, we gonna get to it, man. Hold on, I ain't done. We gonna get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get to it. You know what I mean? Quick one, but a dope one. You know what I'm saying? Quick one, but a dope one. You dig?
Yeah. Welcome to the other side. The 30 second. No filters, no rules. Content is king. Watch at your own risk. Dedicated grind music. Dedicated grind music. Yeah. Dirty second, dark side of the net, friend to the day. But tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case. Get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat. We gon' take it far. Dirty second, the place with no control. I can't control black, hot, dark soul. From the streets to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Watch at your own risk, we exposing all the fake. Clout wars popping off, everybody raise the stakes. Screenshots loaded, receipts get aired. Say the wrong name, and your brand get teared. Enemies in silence, then friends on live. Hoes say they're in flames just to keep the vibe. Clickbait title, drama all in the mix. Dirty said it coded, you ain't built for this. Dirty sick, dark side of the net. Friends to the day, but tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case, get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat, we gon' take it far. Dirty sick, the place with no control. I can't control black, heart, dark soul. In the streets, to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Content is king, better guard your crown. Cause the sector love to tear the biggest channels down. Ups in the comments, snakes in the chat. One wrong move, ain't no coming back. Algorithms feeding on the beef we spark. We turn YouTube live to a battleground park. Drill beat knocking, got the sector on fire. The dirtier it get, the more views get high. No rule, no filters, no love, just smoke. Every lie is a gamble, every word is a joke. Be whoever you want. Gangster past, in the dirty sec, the chaos move fast. Dirty sec, dark side of the net. Friend to the day, but tomorrow we a threat. No face, no case, get dragged by an avatar. Cash app, super chat, we gon' take it far. Dirty sec, the place with no control. I can't control black, heart, dark soul. From the streets to the sidewalks, coast to coast. On YouTube, we the ones that really do the most. Dedicated grind music.
Yes, sir. It's that fiery, man. It's that fiery. I got some new fiery coming out too. That joint is already out there. Word, that's already out there. That fiery already out there. Word, but y'all ready, man? Shout out to my guys, man. 050 the movement, man. My man Harlem Legend, my man China Brim. I see they out there getting they stomp on, you know. You know what I'm saying? Getting they stomp on. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? That's a fact. It's good to see it's good to see the broskies, you know what I mean, getting they just due, man. You know what I mean? It's a good look. It's a good look. Definitely a dope look. You know what I mean? A lot of things gonna be, you know. But anyway, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this one is about my boy Smitty Brim, man. I didn't got put in, you know, so many situations dealing with Smitty, man. And it's like, wow, you know, for him to come up right now and be like, yeah, you know, this is what it was, you know, back then. And, you know, I had heard it, but I didn't really buy into it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't buy into it. But you know, it's like got into a couple situations behind Smitty, man. You know what I mean? Then me and him, we went back and forth, you know, it was like, you know what I mean? Y'all already know how I do it. It's like, you know, and pretty much, you know, me personally, pretty much, you know, he really didn't, you know, extend that hand, you know what I'm saying, on you know, kind of like a, you know, my bad, or you know what I'm saying, man up to me personally. You know what I'm saying? I really I still ain't get that man up. You know what I'm saying? I see him, you over there, you know what I'm saying, him and Mikey B doing their thing. Salute to Mikey B. Make sure y'all go, like, share, and subscribe. Hood Love TV. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. So a lot going on as well. But yeah, man, he still ain't, you know what I'm saying, like, make it his business to, like, reach out, you know what I mean, to kind of, fix his wrong. Because he was pretty much wrong, in that aspect of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna say he made me, but just who I am and the brotherhood that I once was a part of, it was like, you know what, I'm a jack that. You know what I mean? So it was like, yo, when him and Shantae was going at it, you know what I mean? That was one of them. You know what I mean? Because I was like, yo, listen, y'all been doing y'all thing. Why don't y'all, share podcasts or whatever and get right? So, he was tight at that. Like, nah, yo, homie, at the end of the day, we Ola, pretty much you messing with that, you know what I'm saying, over there, you know what I'm saying? He don't even know. So, it was that kind of that kind of temperature, you know what I mean? So, me being who I am, I'm like, all right, you know what, you got a point. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So, I'm not even, what I mean, I'm not even good jack boy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even go jack boy. So that's how I went down. You know what I mean? This is how, like, me and, like, not saying I got an issue with Shantae, but this is one of the reasons why I just fell back from Shantae. You know what I'm saying? It's not because of an issue. It was just because of that. You know what I'm saying? And, me knowing, Smitty Brim being Ola, that was just one of the calls. Like, yo, Dig, we Ola, homie. Like, you rock. I'm like, all right, cool. Say less. So I ain't even, I ain't think about it twice. You know what I mean? I just stopped rocking with boy. You know what I mean? So now, at the end of the day, um, that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I didn't, like, me and boy ain't, you know what I'm saying, ain't what's the naming, you know what I mean, no more. You know what I mean? Due to that fact, you know what I'm saying? And then it was somebody else too. It was Cosmology Bay. You know what I'm saying? Me, Cosmology Bay, had got into it again, you know what I'm saying, over, Smitty Grim. You know what I mean? Same situation. I took Smitty's side, you know what I'm saying? And you know, yeah, my bad, people. Yeah, so at the end of it, you know what I'm saying, it was Cosmology Bay, you know what I mean? That right there was kind of like, I think that was it for me with the Cosmology Bay situation. You understand what I'm saying? Due to the fact of, like, me and Cosmology Bay never really, we ain't never had no running. I ain't had no issue with Cosmology Bay or with Shantae. You know what I mean? But again, it was one of those where, riding out, you know what I'm saying, for the geyser, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, me and Smitty Grim, my loyalty to him at that time was just pretty much, we both spent a lot of time dealing with 050 the movement, you know what I mean? And on our departure, to kind of like go off and do our own thing, Smitty Brim and me supposed to, and I was supposed to have been the first show. So it would have been 050 BUCKS and Smitty Brim. We was the first one that's supposed to get ahead and what's the name and do our own thing, you know what I mean, with our own show rather. You know what I mean? And then Wax was in line, but it went a whole nother way, you know what I mean, due to that situation. So when we go back to the Cosmology Bay, I'm like, wow. So here goes Smitty again, like, yeah, yo, don't rock with that nigga. I don't rock with that nigga either. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man. So long story short, all that take place, and now again, I picked Smitty's side. You understand? And when I picked Smitty's side, it was just like, all right, I went on my way. And what make the Cosmology Bay joint twisted is, how he used to support me. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and him never had no words. So I just kind of stopped jagging him. And, he went, this is when I ain't even had my own situation, popping. He kind of like, he unsubscribed for me and all that. You know what I mean? But, long story short, you dig? I spoke to him. I think he pulled up on my panel on the show. And I just like, publicly, apologize to him because again, I didn't have no issue with him. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have no issue with him. You know what I mean? Smitty Grimm had the issue with him, and Smitty was just pretty much like, "Oh, I don't rock with boy." You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, all right. So I made the choice. I'm not saying Smitty forced me. You know what I'm saying? I made the choice. So this is why publicly I made the choice to apologize to Cosmology Bay because me and him never had no smoke. You did? And then fast forward. Now, mind you, me and this nigga Cosmology Bay, well, me, not Jack and Cosmology Bay and all this and all that, moving forward, this nigga Smitty Brim and Cosmology Bay get back right. They back on the panel together and all. I'm like, yo, look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't get caught up in nobody else's ish. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know when that thing is going to reconcile. You know what I mean? Like, this what happened. That shit reconciled on me. I'm like, damn, how about if I just wasn't a man and would have did that and I'm beefing with a nigga that is Smitty's issue, but I'm siding with Smitty and now me and old boy not rocking and we ain't talking and we ain't doing none of that. And then to see them sharing a platform again, I'm like, wow, yo, what kind of peanut butter and jelly issues that? But that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So I still ain't get it, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Bucks, my bad on that. You know what I'm saying? That was, especially the role he had down there. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? That was some sucker shit on my behalf. You know what I mean? Because what I did was and I think he tried to explain it one time, but you know what I mean? That come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took my responsibility already, so it's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I mean? I apologize to Cosmology Bay publicly, you know what I mean? But it was just like, damn, my nigga, like, I stopped rocking with a nigga because of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happened with Shantae too. Same thing. You understand me? Like, Shantae been a fan, the dig, but what tipped the hat was the Smitty shit. You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, I was trying to get them dudes like, yo, get on the platform, y'all can do what y'all do, or even shoot it out. So that's when I got the text, like, yo, homie, we all But long story short, I stopped rocking with boy, you know what I mean? And then turn around again, at the boy was shooting at him, I'm getting all kind of texts from Smitty, you know what I mean? So it was like that shit looked like it was gonna spill to the streets. So I handled that with a little more. Well, both of them was, you know what I'm saying? Because in the text, that's the type of time they was on, and we talking about like a year, maybe 15 months ago. You did. So now I'm like, all right, cool. So I turn around, him and Shantae back on the platform together. I'm like, yo, you can't make this shit up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I take your side, you know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and it's like everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything is good money. So I said, wow. And then, moving on, I finally, because me and him ain't had, we ain't speak. We had a fallout. You know what I'm saying? We was falling out because then, he kind of started jacking Sonya and all that info and all that. Like, it was just like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like that joint was, that joint was no bueno.com. For me, anyway. You know what I'm saying? It was just no bueno.com. That's just like, it's the, let me see. It's the I won't even call it loyalty, but it's just the fact of, all right, cool, this is what it is. You know what I mean? He been through a situation, had nothing to do with me. He reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? Even when Ledge was going at it, you know what I'm saying? He reached out to me like, yo, you holler at them a little more than me. Holler at the nigga, let the nigga know, you know what I mean? I don't want to know. So that's why I really tip my hat to Smitty about, and I kind of extended my arm as far as with the loyalty thing goes. I'm like, that's some real, you know what I'm saying? That's grown man-ish. You know what I mean? So, he ain't call on no BS. He call like, yo, thing, it ain't that serious. You know what I mean? But long story short, this is one of the reasons, people may ask, well, why you take his shot anyway and get in the middle. It's because of that. You know what I'm saying? When you read the room, and like I said, we had time together on YouTube. You know what I mean? But we was rocking together for a minute. We had time in. At least by this time, we had at least two to maybe 2.5 years in just rocking with each other. You understand what I'm saying? So that was one of the reasons that was like, all right, it ain't no questions asked. You know what I mean? If the homie like, hey, yo, don't rock with the homie, I ain't gonna rock with him. You know what I mean? Especially with Sean Tate, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he on the other side of the fence, homie. Like, we all like, so, you know, that played the part. So I jacked it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, fast forwarding into now, I'm like, damn, I see, he on this positive vibe. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of shit coming out, you know what I mean? Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of shit, old shit coming out about him being low and, leaving, from being low. I think he said he was 5'5" Crip, leaving 5'5" Crip, to become Blood or become Stone, Brim, whatever or however. And I see the response and I see how he's handling it. It's like, wow, why, don't go halfway, handle all situations the same way. You know what I mean? Because I'm a firm believer, you dig? I deserve some type of, now, I ain't gonna use the word explanation, but I deserve some type of, you know what, I just want to let you know, identify to, how I was moving it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, identify, like, just let me, just let me know, like, you identify to that. Because I wouldn't have did that to him. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have did that to him because I didn't go to him when him and Sean Tate was cool. I didn't go to him, you know what I mean? Because Sean Tate been a fan for longer than that. Like, Sean Tate was the nigga, all in the Instagrams and all that, talking about, yo, why you rocking with 050? Them niggas really don't rock with you, and boom, boom, this, and that, and, like, I be like, yo, my nigga, why is you worrying about my situation? Like that right there didn't add up. You worrying about my situation. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have my own page and none of that then. I was just, at this time, I was just popping up. You know what I'm saying? We probably about like a year in maybe of rocking with him. So it's just like, yo, why every time we turn around, this was his content now. Oh, yeah, Bucks, I don't know why he be rocking with 050 the movement, China and home, they don't really rock with him and blah, and I'm like, yo, dude is weird. So he kept like with the Instagram stalking. I'm like, yo, come on, like, what is this about? You know what I'm saying? Like really? Like, this what we doing? You know what I mean? So, I started dissecting that, and that was like my first running, besides Roski and what's the old boy name? Roski and Bullets Dottie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first running when they, yo, you rock with 050, them niggas don't really rock with you. Like, that was my really introduction when I started like popping out. You know what I mean? Everybody was kind of like questioning that. Yo, why you rock with them? Yo, why you this? And it was a bunch of that. That's what I went through. Like, my first introduction, I went through that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I went through. You dig? So, moving forward, seeing and hearing, how Smitty handling the situation, it's like, damn, why I didn't get that, that back call, like, yo, there, yo, homie, you know what? That was some old, some bozo issue on my behalf. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because I did, like I said, I sided with him. That's who I sided with. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, God, like, yo, even though, me and Cosmology Bay, you know what I mean? Again, I apologize to him publicly, you know what I'm saying? And then with the Sean Tate, like, I just, I still don't mess with that boat. So ain't nothing, no beef, but we not the same. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm expecting that. You know what I'm saying? So now all this other shit coming out, oh, he was a low, So I'm like, wow, well, why he felt that way about Sean Tate? Sean Tate was a low. You know what I'm saying? So he say anyway, you know what I mean? But neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Like I said, dope show, you know what I'm saying? Dope show, by the way, you know what I mean? Smitty and the homie Mikey B, dope show. Salute to Smitty for even manning up, because it takes a man to come out whether it leaked out or what, but just for you to own it, and you know what I mean. That's you handle that how you want to handle that. You know what I mean. That's and from the outside looking in, it's dope how you handle that. That's grown man ish. I salute that. This is another reason why I'm like, yo, well, damn. I see you on grown man, Sean. I ain't get that back call yet. You know what I'm saying? Because that's nasty work. You see what I'm saying? It's nasty work. You know what I mean? And that's the fallout between me and Smitty Brim. And man, it ain't been right since. You dig what I mean? So it's like, wow, here go, you lose relationships over somebody else, and then they get back cool. Now you the nigga who's stuck with like, damn, you know what I mean? Me and this nigga ain't seeing eye to eye because I was rocking with you. So that's what goes on in this sector, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just said, damn, I kept hearing it, and I'm like, all right, let me get it and let me tap in on it, from another angle. Because I respect, you know what I'm saying? I respect what he doing. You know what I mean? I respect it. You know what I mean? I ain't, ain't no kind of way, no malice. You know what I'm saying? Behind it, like I said, me and that's water under the bridge for me and Cosmology Bay. You understand? But yeah, man, that was the run-in with me and Smitty Brim. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I heard Mikey B ask me, I think that was yesterday's show, like, yo, Bucks, why you ain't let niggas know? But I heard it, but I didn't pay it no mind. It didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit didn't really push it in. You know what I mean? So that's why I ain't really, pay no mind then. I ain't nobody, because like I said, I know him to be Smitty Brent. I did hear, he was stoned, you know what I mean? But I really didn't pay attention to the low part. It was out there. I think somebody had came up and had said that. It was out there, but I ain't jacket. Let's say that. I ain't jacket. You did what I mean? So moving on to the next, joint, you did Smitty Brim again, him and Manny Brim. Like, I don't know, man. I seen something with Manny Brim on What's the Numbers TV. Salute to those dudes. You know what I mean? But yo, they kind of like, I don't know, man. For somebody who hold himself to a status, meaning Manny Brim, you know what I mean? He went up on a platform and kind of like made a mockery of himself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, it's always, those dudes who's trying to fit shoes that is too big for them. And now they got to get up there explaining. You know what I'm saying? Like gangsters don't do no explaining. All they do is give orders. You know what I'm saying? And it's like for you to come up there and degrade yourself, it was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like you really look at Messi. They talking about Scooter Manny, Manny Scooter Brim. You know what I mean? He said he riding the scooter all on highways and all that. Like I've never owned a scooter, my nigga. Like, he tried to make that seem like it was cool. I never owned no scooter. You know what I mean? Like you gotta keep on. Oh yeah, I guess he's threw a name out there and was like, yeah, the individual ran on him and he had to get busy. And I'm just like, oh, I'm thinking, he busted the movie. You know what I mean? But it wasn't even a movie. It was like a female was involved and you know what I mean? It's like all it's wild. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, dude need to take a break from YouTube. He really do. Then I had seen something he talking about Max B stole his style and we got the same rings. I'm like, yo, this guy really is delusional records, man. You know what I'm saying? Then they got a clip of him talking about he asked a nigga for $20 or $200, but and they words. This is their words. I'm recapping off what they were saying. You know what I mean? Again, salute to What's the Numbers TV. And like, yeah, you asked them for $200. And, pretty much they was, to me anyway, they was making mockery of him. You know what I mean? And he was up there explaining himself. They coming up, yo, it was like he was in an interrogation room. They coming up with all kind of. Then he like, yo, all right, I'm out. I can't speak on this. So this is when I figured it out. I'm like, yo, this nigga is like really thirsty for clout. It had to be that because once I thought he picked up on it. Like, yo, hold on, wait a minute, y'all niggas is really trying to drag me up here. Y'all not really trying to get down to the nitty gritty. So he like, yo, I'm out. And he didn't leave. And he stood up there and continued to ask like they was interrogating him. Yo, what happened over here when you was in the gambling joint? He had to tell that story. Yo, what happened over here when you was at the gas station? He had to tell that story. What happened when you was with another nigga? And I'm not making this up, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, go holla at What's the Numbers TV, and it's on the show. The nigga was up there for like 3 hours, and then, like, he was like in an interrogation room for 3 hours. I kid you not, explaining everything that he have done. You understand? He was with a dude, and the dude got robbed and blah. Like, they like, why he let that happen? Like, he was just looking. He was out of pocket. He was out of the lineup, man. You know what I'm saying? He was out of the lineup. That's a fact. I don't know what was his motive or what kind of move he thought he was busting, but it wasn't a dope one. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a dope one. You know what I mean? Then, I heard him and Ledge, they had some words. Ledge, like, he got beat up and they took his fanny pack. Like, yo, you can't make this up, man. They said the nigga took his fanny pack, you know what I'm saying? And, such and that. So I'm like, all right. So then, moving forward, I'm watching that. Then, he going at it with Smitty. I'm like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. So, he's trying to run with the narrative about, somebody being woke and becoming blood and blah, 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 and whatever have you. So I'm like, yo, why is it so, how would I say? Oh, man. You know how when you zoomed in, like, you so zoomed in, you know what I mean? Like, why you so zoomed in? And then when you look at, that last show he did on What's the Numbers TV, it was like you was in an interrogation room and you was being interrogated. You know what I'm saying? Like, to you, you was with it. And again, I thought you caught on, but then I'm gonna drop down, but then you ain't go nowhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, hold on, why would you stay up there entertaining that? Everything they saying is not in your behalf. You know what I mean? They debunking everything they really saying, what he's saying. And they pretty much making him the butt of the joke. So I'm like, kind of like, why are you and Smitty Grimm still going at it? For what reason? Everybody have a right to their opinion. You know what I mean? So why you ain't take offense when these dudes was pretty much indirectly clowning you? You know what I'm saying? They made you the bozo of the show. You know what I mean? You gave them 3 hours of content, or you looking like a bozo. That's a fact. You dig what I mean? So, when you, into these YouTube streets, man, sometimes, it's like a saying, and it's, and you could use it in the same dialogue. All money ain't good money. You know what I mean? Every panel ain't a good panel. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't always good to jump on everybody's panel, especially, when they making you the content. You know what I mean? They lining you up. You dig what I mean? And then, you talk all this, yeah, I got the show, the 50, yo, yeah, and I got this, and yo, it was only, Crips in my hood, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, well, you been through all that, you know all that. Like, how you ain't staying on law when you seen niggas just clowning you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that part was like, come on, homie. Like, you should know better than that, and you got to do better than that. You know what I mean? Like, you talking about you keeping it real, and it's all about the kids, but you still up here talking about, yeah, I did this shit. Yeah, I get busy, and yeah, Max B chicken style for me, and yeah, like, you can't be coming up on no YouTube streets making a mockery of yourself, but going to try to talk to you so they can straighten up. They gonna look at you like a bozo, especially if they in tune with YouTube, because you making a fool out yourself up here. You know what I'm saying? And, I heard Smitty say, they got lifetime YouTube big. So they, pretty much, I'm hoping that's what it is. Just straight YouTube. You know what I mean? But that's what's going on, man. That's my little recap. You know what I'm saying? Of the Mikey B show. I think, they did like two joints of it. You know what I mean? I tuned in. You know what I mean? It's just nasty work, man. You dig? But, great show. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. Hood Love TV. Go like, share, and subscribe. A lot going on. Go like, share, and subscribe. Low lights, man. You know what I mean? Man, somebody need to let them know, man. You need to get it right, man. He needs you to get it together, man. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, it's nobueno.com. You dig? But y'all already, man, it's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. Y'all already, man. Either this Friday or next Friday, we'll be dropping celebrity bozos. You know what I mean? Y'all better tune in, man. You know what I mean? As I always say, tap in and tap out, man. You know what I mean? So I got to leave y'all with the throwback. You understand me? And we ain't going nowhere. We here like we never left. You understand me?
So what? Yo, stop the music, hold the phone. This ain't for the throne, it's for the clown who stood alone. This is for the dude who brought a spoon to a gunfight. This right here, this is your spotlight, you bozo. Dedicated grind music. Listen, bozo, you been a bozo since Monday, wake up call. Tripped over your ego, took a legendary fall. You been bozoing hard, no cap, a total disgrace. Got lost in the building, forgot your own face. You seek the blunder, you hunt for the fail. Then come get this trophy, you winning by mail. This is for the bozo of the week. Bozo, bozo, you been a bozo all week. From your head to your torso, take this award. Don't you dare try to hide it, cause being a bozo is what you seek. So come on and claim it. You earned it. Just take it. You earned it. Regrets, man, you collect them like they're limited editions. Made a wrong turn and started 3 new competitions. You bozo the meeting. You bozo the deal. You bozoed your lunch. How you mess up a meal, but you own it. You don't deny it. You walk in the flame. They call you a bozo. You just ask them to say your name. This is for the bozo of the week. Bozo, bozo, you been a bozo all week. From your head to your torso, take this award. Don't you dare try to hide it, cause being a bozo is what you seek. So come on and claim it. You earned it. Just take it. You earned it. What is a bozo is? It's a state of mind. Leaving common sense and all your reason behind. It's an art form, a masterpiece of oops. A permanent vacation in the land of whoops. So hold your head high, you magnificent man. You're the king of the clowns, putting skills to the test. Bozo of the week, yeah, you bozo. 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 Bozo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all already, man. It's your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka the Dark Side General. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Don't forget, tune in. We got the Celebrity Bozo Awards coming either this Friday or next Friday. We got me and Artie doing some, you know what I mean, sooner than later. Make sure y'all tune in. Shout out to Artie, Light Side. You understand? And on that note, man, it's your boy 050 Bucks. You know what I mean? Salute to Asia. Appreciate controlling the chat. Salute to NY Nikki Baby. Appreciate you for holding that chat down. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Renegade Society Production. Shout out to my man El Plaga, Trey Pound 7, a.k.a. Mr. Movie. And again, it's your host, you dig, Mr. 050 Bucks, a.k.a. Mr. Shoot Right Back, a.k.a. the Dark Side General. And I'm out. Ooh.